6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face. Blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
Such sights to show you. We'll tear your soul apart.
Just in the middle of a dream, I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late, 'cause then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. It was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. I don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
Woo! Welcome to Death Curse Society and Monday Maniacs, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are Colonel-less. What happened?
That goddamn Cincinnati chili, man. That's what happened.
Can't really say what's happening, but yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, Colonel cannot join us. Maybe he'll jump in later. We don't know. You never know with the Colonel. He's kind of unpredictable. He's like the Bigfoot of the Death Curse Society. You know you've seen him.
He's the bearded menace.
That's right. But Ziggy, how's your week so far?
It's like hot and raining here, so it could be just crank solo here. If this storm knocks the power out again, I might be out of here. But so far so good. It's raining hard, but the thunder's kind of keeping shit at bay, so
Gotcha.
So far so good. But yeah, so far yeah, man. This week's all right. Just hanging in there. Looking forward to this. Exciting. Always every time we got a guest, man, I'm down.
Oh, yeah.
I'm charged.
Oh yeah, me too. You're officially on vacation now, too, correct?
I do nothing again until August 4th, and I fucking love it. It's great. God damn.
Very nice. Very
I'm
nice.
happy.
Good. Now, get your damn plane ticket to Oklahoma, damn it.
Yes, we'll discuss those details after the show tonight. I got news.
All right. Oh, okay. All right. Well, excellent. Guys, later on, we are going to be joined by Cecil Laird from The Horror Show on YouTube. Make sure to go to their channel and check them out. And also, he is the writer and director of the upcoming Dylan's New Nightmare, which is funding right now on Indiegogo. I will find that link here in a little bit and put that in the comments so you guys can go check that out. Help them get a few of the finishing funds that they need to make this movie. It's going to be starring Miko Hughes, will return as Dylan, and Dave McRae as Freddy Krueger himself. So,
I mean,
that's going to be fun.
They got everybody that's in these hot fan films coming out right now. Everybody's involved with this thing, so I don't see how it could miss. And the choice to make a sequel to Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which is a mindfuck as it is so intriguing anyway. Come on, man. Yep. Who doesn't want to see this?
Yeah, exactly. I'm really excited about this one. We've got, looks like most of you are already here. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, welcome.
Tyrone and Tanya are here, the dynamic duo themselves. Brandon's in the house. Dave, Kiara. Hello, Kiara. Corey's here. Lorena is finishing up work and changing clothes. Dude, excellent. S. Michaels says, I like it. Welcome to prime time, bitches. Yep, it is prime time. Patricia's here. Dave, I think I mentioned both of them. Yep. Kiara, Kiara says, O'Nell is not here.
O'Nell is AWOL.
Yep. And there's Luke. Yep. And Lorena, dudes.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much, folks.
Oh, here we go. Patricia says, Freddie got Colonel.
He might have.
Reached up. That would be uncomfortable.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Maybe it was his chili bowl fucking red and green striped when he ate it. So who knows?
Oh, and great. And Hutch is here. He says, I missed the Colonel already. Yeah. Thanks, Hutch.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You've got me and Zigzag.
Oh, man. The youth connection's not here, so that's it, dude. We're the Geritol hour.
Hey, Hutch is not much younger than me. So
that's right.
I don't
What's
think.
up, Hutch? Jesus.
All righty. Well, I think I'm the thunder-stealing prick this time around.
You starting it up, huh?
Yeah. But before we get to all that, of course, got to thank our members. Got to cover you up for a minute, Zag. Special thanks to our final girls and guys, Chris, Lorena, Christy, Luke, Tyrone, and then our crazy Ralphs, Angelo and Peter, and our camp counselors, S. Michael and Dave. Thank you guys for helping support the society. You love that. You love those.
Well, I'm learning. It only drops out when somebody starts to speak over it. So I'm trying to pick my spots so everyone can receive their just applause for doing what they're doing for us. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. And then, of course, I've got to do this. I didn't even have this loaded until just
for
now.
God's sakes.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching Death Curse Society. Make sure to follow us on our social media. We've got the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, and the Twitch. And also subscribe to us on YouTube. You know the thing. Not that bell. Not that bell. This one. Ring this bell. Much better. Much better. And also make sure to visit our website at deathcursesociety.com where you can catch up on everything that we've got loaded in there. It's jam-packed with information and fun.
Including the latest Red Crank report.
Oh, yeah. And make sure to join the society. Check out that page on the website. You can become a camp counselor, a crazy Ralph, or a final girl or guy. There's 3 levels, 3 different monetary monthly recurring donations. You get perks, though. You get cool shit. And check out the shop where we've got all of our T-shirts and hats and other stuff in there. You'll dig it. I got one of those blankets recently, and those are kick ass, man. For a blanket, I was really excited about it. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot.
Gonna get the rug for my gaming area.
I still got to put it together. Yeah.
I know it's in there.
Check out our podcast also. If you don't want to look at us, which I don't blame you, we're on all those outlets right there. And if you don't subscribe to Death Curse Society,
Burn in hell for this, you'll burn in hell!
that might be a little too harsh.
We may be driving that bus though on the way, so don't worry about it. Be all right.
While you're in the store, check out our latest T-shirt, the Jason Shadows tee. It is available right now. I picked mine up not too long ago. I think Christy has one on the way, and somebody else, one of our other members, I think, ordered one recently. I can't remember who right this second, but
guys, you're making me jealous. I don't even have one yet, but that will be rectified soon.
That is true. That is true. All righty. Well, you know what? We're not even going to get to a list.
It seems not. We'll see.
I don't want to talk about these lists anyway. I don't want to rank these movies yet. Instead, we're going to invite our special guest in. He just showed up in the underground chat, so we're going to get him in here real quick, ladies and gentlemen. As I mentioned at the top of the show, the writer-director of the upcoming Dylan's New Nightmare and the host and creator of the horror show on YouTube, Mr. Cecil Laird. How are you, sir?
Hello. I'm doing well. Thank you guys for having me on.
Oh,
yeah, sure. Thank you for joining, man. We love it when we have guests, but we're still kind of a small potatoes channel. So
we all start there, right? Everyone starts there, so I get it.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, man.
How long have you had the horror show on YouTube?
We launched in January of 2014, and at the time, what I tried to do is I basically pre-produced an entire month's worth of daily episodes, and then we just ran that 30 episodes across that month, and then that was it. And the channel was dark until we filmed the second season and did it kind of in a similar way. But by the time the third year rolled around, we just started we didn't go to the actual studio that we used to record. We just started to set up stuff at home, and it made it a lot simpler for us. And eventually we got to a point where we were doing 2 episodes a day. We did that for about 2 years, and we finally dropped down to 1 a day about a year and a half ago. And now we've dropped back down to about 3 a week so that we can focus on quality over quantity now.
Excellent. Yeah, we normally do every other day. We'll drop something is normally our pacing right now.
Well, we get it all
a little bit.
One day to just knock all that out, though,
Right.
Get them all recorded, and then we start chopping them up.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we actually record every Sunday. And then, so yesterday we recorded, I think 6 Patreon reviews, a trailer reaction, or a trailer reaction roundup. And then also we did the over 2-hour live news with booze.
Oh, there you go. Now you're talking.
But yeah, that's just a standard production day for us.
Right. Yeah, we had a marathon of about a little over 4 hours of recording yesterday.
Yeah, it was a lot. Still wasn't enough. People had to leave before we were finished.
Yeah, I think we had to cut a topic too, didn't we? Damn.
Yeah, a couple.
Yeah. All righty. Well, Cecil, let's tell us a little bit. What can you tell us about Dylan's New Nightmare? How did this come across? How did the idea come to you? And let's see what you got.
Yeah, well, basically, we've been running the channel, like I said, for about 6 years now, and one of the things that we did in one of the early years was a fan film called Sweet, that was basically a fan film based on the American Vampire comic book series, which was co-created by Scott Snyder and Stephen King. And so our guy Fuego, my co-host on the channel and the guy that does the weekly Hail to Stephen King episodes on the channel, he looks like a lot like the main character. So he played Skinner, and we had a good time putting this together. We did it for a little under $2,000, and it came together really well. 9 minutes short. We got a Western town to shoot it at, and all this stuff. So yeah, we got wardrobe for everyone, and it was a lot of fun. And after that, though, it seemed to me like fan films really started to get more and more popular with the bigger properties. People would start to do Freddy and Jason and in some cases Leatherface, and definitely Michael Myers. And then so that progressed for a couple of years, and then Vince DiSanti sort of broke the mold with Never Hike Alone in 2017. And that sort of showed everyone what really a fan film can be like if proper attention and resources and crew are paid to said project, right? And so I started to think, well, if we're going to do, I want to do something of that level. I don't want to. The reason we didn't do, fan films sooner is because I'm of the mind that if I don't have the money to do something right, I'm not going to do it, because I don't want to put out an inferior version of something, of an inferior version of an idea I have. What's the point of putting that out? It's always best foot forward in my mind, right? And so Vince proved that crowdfunding could be a way to get that. And so I was like, well, if I was going to make a fan film of my own, who would I want to do? And my two favorite horror icons are Freddy and Chucky. And Tony Biz and his crew were already working on Charles. And not only that, but the technical aspects of making a Chucky movie, I just didn't even want to bother trying to attempt that. So I was like, okay, so Freddy. So then I'm like, where's the story for me to tell? That I like the idea. So as I was thinking, I was like, what Freddy do I want to do? One of my favorite ones has always been Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I love the meta-ness of it. I love that Heather came back and they created sort of a blending of the continuity and the real world. And I just really dug it. It was super fresh. It was obviously Wes's dabbling in the metaverse before doing Scream soon after that. And so I was like, well, and actually part of what gave me the idea was the fact that so as the horror show, we cover horror conventions when we can. And one of them is called Mad Monster. And in fact, Mad Monster Arizona is this coming 4th of July weekend. We're going to be there again. But one of the Mad Monsters a couple of years back, Miko was there. And so I was like, well, what if someone came to him with an idea of like, what's Dylan doing 25 years later, And so I did a lot of celebrity interviews in those days. And so I sat down and I was like, I'm just going to throw in the question during the interview. I was like, with the building of fan films nowadays, would you ever, if someone ever approached you to do something, say, called, I don't know, Dylan's New Nightmare, would you ever, consider something like that? And he's like, yeah, I'd consider something like that. And I was like, shit, okay. And so after the interview, I was like, I guess maybe I should write something called Dylan's New Nightmare. So basically the idea simply is, at the end of Wes Craven's New Nightmare, they explode Freddy in the sort of, witch oven thing. And then they escape the dream world just as it's collapsing. And so I was like, okay, so what if when Freddy explodes, we didn't see this, but his essence flew into Dylan's head and has been hibernating there, feeding on Dylan's nightmares for the last 25 years, getting stronger and stronger until finally he's now strong enough to make his move. What exactly his move is, I can't necessarily go into, but he wants to have some fun, and his way to do so is Dylan. So
nice.
I feel like this is the absolute right time for something like this with the success of Halloween 2018. Everybody is now, Texas Chainsaw's got one coming this way with, 40 years in between.
Right.
Obviously, our buddy Dave McRae in his Black Christmas, which was
Mhm.
excellent.
Mhm.
And I want to get into that too about, your choice of Freddy, because not everybody's going to be able to pull this off.
Mhm.
I think your choice, however, will do fine.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I mean, to see this, and I was wondering why, was it something maybe, Miko agreed to something to help get you the catalyst to help get this written, to choose this particular chapter in the Nightmare universe, instead of something like, yeah, I guess it would have been easier if you didn't have, the connection to it, But I like that. I like to see these classic characters coming back, and I'll be honest, that is the big appeal to me on this.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, when Vince brought back Tom Matthews,
Hmm.
that was like, oh shit, we can do that. And so, that opened up the mind paths to think of like, okay, let's think about it through that lens and what would be interesting. And shit, Miko was like 8 or 10 at the time,
Yeah.
and so he's still a young guy. Like, he can carry a movie easily, and he's got now what essentially could amount to 25 years worth of baggage in addition to the actual events from the movie. And then not only that, but he's been working in Hollywood all this time. So he's got that to draw on. And my idea is, of course, Dylan followed in his parents' footsteps. If you recall in the movie, his dad worked in special effects and his mom was, Heather Langenkamp as an actress. So he's been trying to follow suit as a struggling actor in Hollywood. So that in and of itself allowed a pathway for a good story. And when you combine, that with, the Freddy of it all and his reemergence, then it just ended up playing out as a really fun story. And when I came up with the idea, I told Vince about it, who was actually at Mad Monster. And he's like, yeah, he's like, you should definitely tell Miko about this idea. And so the next Mad Monster, Miko came back. Actually, so I did the interview at Mad Monster Carolina, then he came to Mad Monster Phoenix about 8 months later. And so in that time, I wrote the actual script to follow up on the question. And so Vince came to the one in Phoenix. So I told him, how everything came out. He read the script, and I did. I had written the script. So he read the script. He's like, you should definitely show this to Miko. And so I was like, okay, would you mind going over there with me, just so I have the credibility of knowing Vince DeSanti, And Vince, nice enough, did that. And not only that, but he brought a copy of Never Hike Alone to give to Miko to show, hey, this is the kind of thing that we do. And so I reminded Miko about the question, and he's like, oh, yeah, I remember that. And I was like, well, I wrote the script for you. And he's just like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah. And so he's like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm sure he was just being polite. He's like, I can read this on the plane ride home, that'll be fun, and so that was that. And then the next night, so that was on Friday. The con goes Friday to Sunday. So the next night, we're at the post-con like burlesque show that they were having, and I was doing the filming for it because I was doing the press for Mad Monster that year. And so Miko came up to me during the event, and he was like, hey. I was like, oh, hey, Miko, what's up? Because the music was loud and everything.
Right.
And he's like, this is pretty cool, huh? And I was like, yeah, cool. And I just, kept trying to focus on it. And he's just like,
you're right.
Yeah. And then he kind of just walked away. And then after the thing was done and everyone had filed out, he came back up while I was packing up the camera gear. He's like, hey. I was like, oh, hey, Miko, what's up? He's like, you didn't hear me, huh? I was like, I thought I did. What I missed? And he's just like, I said I read the script. And I was like, oh. And he's just like, I really liked it. I was like, damn. Oh, shit. Oh, crap. Okay. And so, yeah, from there, he gave me his contact info. And I kept up with him after that. And the project blossomed and grew from there.
Nice. Wow. Yeah, I met him last year at Oklahoma City's HorrorCon. And I asked him about, how in the world did this come to you? How did you get and he told me a little bit about that story. He was just like, oh, yeah, some guy just walked up and handed me a script. And I was like, okay, that's cool, But
you never know until you try, right?
right, that just it's such an I mean, it's a great story. Don't get me wrong, but it's one of those unbelievable stories because you always hear about. Actors are not going to read an unsolicited script. You got to go through their agent and all this bullshit, And for this to actually have worked is damn right amazing, just great.
Tell you what, it's kind of like
poster up there.
Yeah, remember the thing with Crypticon? We were in a Daniel Harris, Kane Hodder panel, and it was right after she kind of did that joke tweet about a Halloween 4 fan film. Someone, what's up? Someone get on this. But shit, after hearing stories like this, I'm saying never say never, man. This could come down. Who the hell?
Right. Absolutely. And especially if you do it, SAG appropriately, because Miko's a SAG actor. And if you do things correctly, pay what needs to be paid and everything, then that's one less reason for them to say no, taken off the list.
Now, is this going to be a full length, like a feature film, 90 or?
No, it is a short film. It's intended to be 25 to 30 minutes long, but it's intended to be the first in a 4 to 5 part series that, once complete, will ultimately create a feature length film.
You guys are brilliant. That's the Vince strategy all the way, and fuck, we can't wait to see what comes next in that world too. Are they Womp Stomp involved in helping you guys get this thing going? How deep are they into this with you?
Yeah, it started off basically. I kind of had to coyly ask Vince. I showed him the script. He saw what I did with Miko. He saw that I brought in Renee, who made the Spirit of Haddonfield fan film. I don't know if you guys had seen that one, but extremely well shot film. And so I was like, well, that's a DP that I could work with, right. And so we got that going, and Vince saw the forward momentum and he saw my passion for it. And he even said at one point, he's like, I'm not going to just help anyone, you have to show not only passion, but a knowledge for the character and, an obvious appreciation for it. And he even said, he's like, he's told other people, I heard him say to someone, he's like, when I asked Cecil questions about the script that didn't make sense to me, he had an answer that made things make sense to me and within the world. And it's like, that's all you can ask for. And so I eventually kind of was like, so Vince, would you want to be involved? Maybe produce or whatever? He's like, yeah, I'll be a producer. And now it looks like he might actually be bumped up and end up being the first AD on the film as well. So he is quite involved. Yeah, Womp Stomp Films is quite involved in this. I wouldn't go so far as I don't know. I guess you could call it a co-production, but yeah, he's been a huge asset through the whole process, pointing me places to people to help. He connected me with our special effects artist, Nora Hewitt, who won one of the seasons of Face Off on Sci-Fi. So, right. He's brought value through the entire project. Absolutely.
Yeah. Ziggy, it looks like the storm is picking up in your area.
I'm getting a warning right now.
Yeah.
Oh no, poor guy.
Yeah. He was telling me before the show started that it was storming pretty hard. So you're kind of stuttery right now. So
I'm jealous. Arizona, we don't get storms for shit. So
he's in Detroit. I'm in Oklahoma. So
okay, we're spread out then.
Yeah. And our other co-host is in Cincinnati area. But
wow.
He couldn't make it tonight for some reason. He might pop in later, but we'll see. So,
I gotcha.
Now
I have this here, by the way, if you guys were curious. I do have.
I was looking at your background.
Yeah, that's our original design for our glove for our movie.
Okay, very nice. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this here.
I'll pull it.
Make you bring that up so you can. Yeah.
So the idea is it's sort of meant to be a blending of the New Nightmare glove and the old style glove. So the red fingers are a nod to the red musculature of the New Nightmare glove. The chrome armature stuff here is meant to evoke the bones, and then the copper wiring is obviously tendons running up the hand. And then we got the new Nightmare blades because I personally think they're just a lot badder looking than the other ones. So
very nice. That's slick, man. I like that.
Yeah,
Who
we're excited
made
about
that?
it. Mark Phillips, the guy from Nightmares Unlimited. He makes all the different Freddy gloves, of course, and then he makes custom projects. He also does a ton of Reanimator replica stuff and a ton of Phantasm stuff.
Yeah. My screen is just going crazy.
You're still snipping, Ziggy.
I know.
Well, come let us know when you get something better here.
Sorry, I'm
Cecil,
trying to reglove
let
my
me.
hand.
Oh no, you're good. Let me. So, what was the idea with the poster design? I like with the glove coming out of Rex.
Yeah, he's kind of slashing through him there. It's because Rex is Rex. There's a presence. Rex has a presence in the film. He was a part of the teaser trailer that we made originally when we made the first campaign. So we really like that design. We actually just got a new poster design for the new campaign. I probably should have sent it over to you. I can send over an email with it if you want. I don't know how much trouble that would be for you right now, but it's we just got a really cool new poster design by Jeff West that makes it feel a lot more movie poster-ish.
Okay.
So let me just attach something real quick and
do your thing.
So the idea is just because at first I really just wanted Rex on there because I think Rex is immediately recognizable for fans of not only New Nightmare but the Freddy series, and that's why also the third poster that we made for the project. All right, I just attached one, and I'll attach the other. The third poster is literally what I wanted to see was a representation of what was happening during the night in the first New Nightmare. So right when Dylan would set Rex up and then at the base of the bed, and then in the next morning he'd have slashes on him, right? So what happened? I wanted to see that, so I commissioned an amazing artist by the name of Robert Elrod to do a Freddy versus Rex in the dream. So it's Freddy versus a giant T-Rex with Dylan hiding behind the T-Rex. So I was really happy with how that came out. I just sent the email over and attached them both. So feel free to take a look. But yeah, I really wanted to do striking posters that were representative of things about the New Nightmare that I really loved.
Excellent. Well, Stacy says nice about the glove, I believe. Kiara says that's amazing. And Patricia says that glove is sweet. And there went Ziggy.
Awesome.
I knew he was gone pretty soon. Yeah, and then Patricia also says 8-bit zigzag. That's about right.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. And I just put the link on there for anyone that's out there to. Now he's back.
He is.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I got no warnings right now. We'll see.
You're looking good.
I was trying to say how fucking sweet that glove looks, and it absolutely accepted. I'll sign off on it for sure.
Awesome. Good.
I did put the link for your Indiegogo campaign, the finishing funds one.
Thank you so much.
In the comments, so they can check that out afterwards.
Did we get to that yet? Did we?
Have we got the what?
How are we doing? I know there's a second campaign running right now for a few more days.
Yeah, well, I actually just extended it for another month. We're able to extend it one time, so it's going to go for another month. But realistically, it's going to keep going even after that because we set the goal low, so that way we would meet it and it would stay in demand after the fact. So people will be able to continue to contribute even after the month is over. But yeah, right now we've raised a little more than 4,000. We're hoping to get to 10 because that was our original figure was 40. We raised 30 the first time and trying to raise the remaining 10 now. So we're about halfway there, and we just added another 30 days. So I'm confident we'll hit it, and I will be, though, if your viewers are interested, I will be probably throwing up a sale on a couple of items in the near future. So keep an eye out on the campaign to see what those might be. So
Okay.
Yeah, let's get this paid, man.
Yeah, it looks like it's going really well. I'm looking at it right now. It's at 44.19. So
nice. Heck yeah.
And I did notice earlier that you added another month on there, because when I talked to you originally about being on here, I was just like, yeah, it'll be right before the campaign ends.
Yeah,
so.
that was the plan. And then I'm like, well, why am I cutting myself off from 60 more days of fundraising, or 30 more days rather. So right. I was like, I might as well just do it. Some people, again, are still coming out of the COVID situation, still getting on their feet. And I've actually had a couple people reach out saying, I want to get a glove, but I haven't saved up quite enough yet. And I'm like, don't worry, you've got a little bit of time and stuff like that. Because, yeah, you can get a replica glove only through this campaign. Mark is never going to be making them outside of our campaign. So those gloves are only available through the campaign. So for any glove collectors, if you want to be a completist, that's how you have to do it.
It'll be just that ghost mask and never hike alone.
yeah, exactly. Well, and one of the fun perks that we have, since Vince is going to be on set, one of the perks we're doing is we're calling our Freddy Neo Freddy for now. Neo Freddy versus Ghost Jason pick. So we're gonna have a fun pick that people can get as a part of the campaign. That's a rebirth of the Freddy versus Jason sort of thing in picture form.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Let me ask you about. Were there any thoughts about going from any other movie, like part 3,
yes.
part 4?
Yes, part 3 is my favorite, but the thing is, I love 3, 4, and 5 quite a bit as a trilogy, and so if anything, so I was on Dave McRae's channel Talking Freddy one time, and I pitched like 3 different ideas that I would have to actually relaunch the Freddy universe outside of this. One of the ideas was pretty obvious. You focus on Alice and Jacob. Jacob's now grown up, and maybe there's a latent connection from when he was connected to Freddy as a little boy, and so you go through that route, and Alice has to fight Freddy yet again. There's also the other ones I thought would be interesting would be sort of a little homage to part 5, where basically what would happen if, so the beginning of the movie would be a girl is asleep, right? She's in her dreams, and then Freddy shows up, and Freddy actually takes advantage of her, right? And when she comes out of the dream, she's pregnant. And so she has the kid, and then when 18 years later, when the kid is old enough, the idea was I would figure out how he would it would be the way to pass the torch to a new Freddy, right? So it would be Robert that would impregnate her, but it would be about this new kid that would kind of grow into a new Freddy sort of thing. So that was one idea that I had. Again, that was just something I spitballed during the stream. I still haven't really developed it further. But the one that I like the most is I really think if they're ever going to reboot Nightmare on Elm Street again, they need to do it as a 10-episode series, 10-episode TV series, where what you do is you have a group of like 5 core kids at the Springwood High School, and you develop that group over the first 5 episodes, right? Each episode would focus on one of the different members of the group and how each of them are starting to have nightmares about this weird guy. And then by episode 5, they all let each other know that they're having this shit. And then that's when, adjacent members of the group are dying, like their family members and stuff are getting killed by Freddy in those first few episodes. But then they start getting picked off starting in episode 6, and they end up having to have a big showdown. And then one of the episodes could be a specific Freddy origin flashback if we wanted to go that route. And then, yeah, you just have everything build to a big episode 10 showdown with Nancy and, you know, anything like that. I just feel like giving it time to really breathe and really give you time to get attached to these characters before they start dying. I think that would go really well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not a bad idea. You know, they were at one point wanting to do like I know they were trying to do a Friday the 13th series episodically, and I didn't think that was going to work at all. And then I guess they ended up scrapping plans for that a while back. So.
Yeah, I just don't think Jason has the lore to sustain a series the way Freddy does.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking. And it's, you know, can you really do 10 or 12 weeks of Jason slashing his way through the forest and the woods? Yeah,
I mean, there's the show called Slasher that apparently they do that.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, again, I just think the nuances of a Freddy story would just be so much fun to play around in for that amount of time. And I don't honestly, I mean, would you guys show up for a weekly Nightmare on Elm Street?
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I already did back in the, what was it, 90s?
Yeah, Freddy's Nightmares,
80s and
right?
90s. Yeah,
and he was only in a couple of those episodes. So
right.
But yeah, so I think there's definitely ways to get Freddy going again. I don't know why they haven't after the disastrous 2010 attempt, but
let's be clear here. Let's not blame Jackie Earl Haley. I don't think it was his fault. I think he could have killed that role. I think that script was fucked from the beginning.
Yeah, no, the problems were from the beginning with the script. Sure, I think the makeup job on him was awful. The CG stuff looked terrible, but Jackie did a good job as Freddy.
Yeah, I thought he did fine. You know, especially since it was supposed to be slightly a different take. You know,
well, to me, he was trying to be
Robert Englund.
I felt like he was trying to be closer to the evilness of Part 2 Freddy. Right. There was one line, as not a fan of the movie overall as I am, there's still a couple lines that really made me happy when I saw him. When he kills the kid and then he's like, the human mind still, you know, functions for 8 minutes after you're dead. We still got 6 more minutes to play. I was like, that is good Freddy dialogue right there.
Yeah.
Like, I love that. And there was the micro nap thing. I thought that was a clever idea. That why that hadn't been put into a Nightmare movie before then, I don't know. But outside of a couple of little things, the problem from the start was the way they were handling the characters. No one had any time to get to know anyone before they started dying off. And then you switch protagonists halfway through to another character we don't know much about yet. They just bumbled that thing. You're right. It was script problems from the beginning.
Yeah, I didn't care about any of those characters at all. I was able to tinker around and get that poster put up there.
Yeah, that's the new poster.
Tell us a little bit about that.
That
shadow of Freddy behind you.
Yeah. We just I wanted a more typical movie poster kind of setup, and I wanted to feature Miko because none of our posters featured a grown-up Miko. And so that's I was like, hey, you know, I gave the artist some ideas and he sent me a few different sketch layouts, and this was the one that I thought was the coolest. And it, you know, it alludes to the look we're going to have for our Freddy, but yeah, it's got our glove in there and it shows that Rex is there. And then Miko both as an adult and as a kid to kind of show the progression there. So I just think it came together really, really well.
Nice. And then you've got this wider version also that's actually really dig.
That's the one that I really wanted to see. And you can see the artist even put the fights down in the Freddy realm, including the fountain spout from New Nightmare. Right. So I dig the fact that like this is what was going on every night, and I was like, I gotta see that happen. Like I would love someone to make like a 3-minute long animated short where it's this happening, right? Miko, Dylan putting Rex at the thing, going to sleep, and then Rex getting pulled down into the nightmare world, and when he gets to the bottom, he's now full T-Rex, and they have to freaking fight. Like Freddy versus a T-Rex would be a fun scene, I think.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right, Ziggy, how are you?
It's absolutely Armageddon outside right now. That's just nothing I can do. So I'm just, if it gets really fucked up and you can't hear what I'm saying, I'll just sit back and be quiet and nod along. So
No worries, man.
I can, man.
Sorry that's happened to you, brother.
It's one of the deals with live TV, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know the drill. You probably experienced something like this too.
Oh hell yeah! Oh yeah. Well, I decided I'm lucky. I'm in a spot where we have gigablast internet, so I pay to have like 800 down and like 35 up. So
yeah, that's good. That is good. Guys, if you're out there in the chat room, ask some questions and let us know.
Yeah, happy to answer anything.
Yeah, let's see here. We got S. Michael who says, you obviously worked closely with Dave McRae. What did you think of that? It's Me, Billy, and how was it working with him?
Well, I didn't actually work with him on It's Me, Billy. I've worked with him a number of times through our channels. We've been on each other's shows numerous times, and I will be working with him for the show, the movie proper. He was not actually the Freddy in our teaser trailer. We had not secured Dave as Freddy when we shot the teaser trailer. So we actually shot the teaser trailer with a stand-in because nothing had been finalized with Dave just yet at the time. But yeah, we were going to be going with a different person to play Freddy, and ultimately I just had to make the creative decision to go with someone that I know could really pull it off. Dave's got not only he's a professional voice actor, and I've heard him do Freddy on his channel. So I was like, I know we can get where we need to get. He's already, miles ahead of where a lot of other people would be starting out. And then not only that, but he likes to do physical stuff. Like he's done movement tests for characters on his channel. He's done Michael Myers. He's played Michael Myers for his own short films on his channel and stuff. So I knew that Dave would be able to do it. So I am very much, Dave did go with me out to California to meet Vince and Nora and do the life casting. So they completely covered him in goop, and he had straws in his nose and couldn't say anything. And we have a whole hour-long special on the channel where we show the entire thing because we are doing it without a pullover mask, right? We're doing it the way the movies do it, where it's prosthetic makeup that is going on in pieces. So Nora's going to be on set doing the application every day. Dave's going to have to sit through a couple hours of makeup every day. But he's been telling me how excited he is for it. And I know, just based on what I know about Dave, that once he's in that makeup, dude, it's going to be no stopping him. Yeah, no stopping him.
He's a ball of energy as it is, So I absolutely pull this off. I have no doubt that.
Yeah.
This guy can do Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to imagine a video where you have Dave in it, where he's not talking for almost 2 hours while he's getting that live cast done. I bet that's amazing.
There was lots of jokes to that end. There was lots of, "Hey, Dave, fuck you, buddy," and he just like.
Now we can really tell you what we think.
Yeah,
let's really talk about Halloween 2018.
But yeah, no, it's a funny video if you get a chance. It's an hour long because it's a process, but it's fun. And then he did get, so I brought he brought his hat, but I brought the glove, and so he got to try on the glove and see how it feels. And he took a couple pictures of him with the glove and stuff at the time. And yeah, man, and then COVID hit. And everything was put on hold for a year and a half. So now hopefully we're getting to a place. The thing that we're waiting on is the US-Canada border fully opening up, because right now there's still restrictions in place where if Dave came down, when he goes back, he has to quarantine for 14 days, and we can't pay 2 weeks worth of his salary to ensure that he's not missing out on living wages during that time.
Right. We got a question from Dave out there. Dave wants to know, how much is the glove?
The glove, I believe the unsigned glove is okay. So keep in mind, I have to actually pay the guy to make them. It's a very complicated glove to make. So the glove cost is substantial itself. So right now it's set at 600 because we're also looking to raise funds for the campaign as well. It's not, some people look at campaigns like a storefront. And it's like, well, yeah, but we're also trying to raise money for the movie. Like, that's the whole point. So we're asking for a little bit more than what we're paying for the items, but that's the point. But I can tell you that is going to be one of the items that will likely go on sale in the near future. So yeah, if you're interested, keep an eye on the campaign, because I believe that's one that will be discounted as long as we're able. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that people will be able to take a second look at.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like 600 for the unsigned and 650 for the signed one.
And that would be signed by both Miko and Dave.
Okay.
Wow.
And there's limited numbers of each of those. So
yeah, because Mark can't. He said it takes him a long time to make. He's like, so I can only justify doing like 8 more. I was like, okay.
Nice. Another question from S. Michael. He asked, what's up next for you? Maybe the Seventh Sense? I hear Haley Joel Osment is looking for work. How about Reggie the Reckless versus Ghost Jason?
There's actually been jokes about Haley Joel Osment, because Miko told us a few stories where he lost out on some gigs due to Haley Joel back in the day. And so at one point he was giving me lip or something on the set, just being funny, and I was like, man, don't think I don't have Haley Joel on speed dial. It's just really funny.
I'll call him right now.
Yeah, Miko's got a great sense of humor, so he's really fun. I from here, after the New Nightmare stories, after the Dylan's stories, I have numerous scripts that I've written that I would like to get done, and one of which is my own 80s style slasher that I've already talked to Nora about, and she wants to create the slasher once we get to that point. So yeah, once the Dylan stuff is done, I do have a full length slasher movie that I want to make that is gory, and it's much more akin to films like I guess if you wanted to combine at its core, combine Jason with Saw, and that's essentially what my slasher is. So
okay, very nice. All right, another question from Corey. He asked, is this the only fan film affair for you likely, or are you going to go to other endeavors from this or pursue other franchises?
Again, on the fan film level, I probably won't pursue other franchises unless something really sticks out to me, like needs to get done, and just isn't. I might. Oh, you know what? I might do something Tremors. We're actually we have pre-production done on a music video, a Tremors themed music video that we plan to make down the line, based on a song that someone put out a couple of years back that is sang from the perspective of the Graboid. And so I want to make a video. Oh, dude, if you haven't heard it, it's great. It's by a band called Wolfie's Just Fine, and it's called Trying to Sleep. And it's a really great fucking song, and we're building a music video around the song, and it's going to be really fun. But getting back to the question at hand, I mean, if ideally we do these to give the fans more of the stories that we like, obviously Vince and me with Jason and Freddie, and other people with other characters as well, but Dave with It's Me Billy. But we'd be lying if we didn't say part of the goal is to perhaps get noticed by the studios that are letting these characters just rot on the vine. And if they look, stranger things have happened. I mean, look at Come Play was a movie that was made based on a guy's short film on YouTube. Lights Out was a film made based on a guy's short on YouTube. So there's no reason why studios couldn't come to us and here. It's kind of like what Dave said about It's Me Billy. One of the best things that could happen to us is if the studio comes and says, "Hey, we need you to pull that down." because it's too good. People are getting confused with the real project. And then at that point we say, okay, well, why don't you bring us in for a meeting and let's talk about this. Let's see what we can do together about revitalizing this franchise that's just dying there or dead.
Right.
So that is a nice byproduct. So if that were to happen, if someone, even if it's not the Nightmare on Elm Street people knocking on my door, if Adam Green comes to me and says, hey, do you want to give a crack at Hatchet 5? I'll be like, yeah, like something like that. So I wouldn't mind doing stuff like that if it gets me there. But yeah, otherwise I would probably try and do, if I'm doing my thing, I would rather just go to my slasher. And I actually have another even smaller budget sci-fi thriller that I could make for really on the cheap. And so I might try and do that just to show that I can make a full-length feature and then go to the slasher. But either way, I've tried to lay out paths that I can take depending on what happens as a result of this kind of thing.
Okay, cool. Will there be any other actors or actresses from the existing Nightmare franchise that might make an appearance? I know you can answer that.
I don't know.
I wanted to ask that before my internet went to hell. By the way, right now it looks good. How does it sound?
Looks good. You're back.
And it's funny, like my shit's all freaking out. You guys sound crystal clear, perfect. I can hear everything that's being said, and then everything crashes.
Yeah, you're having problems with
Aren't you glad I did it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, I was about to go, launch this be the host on it. We'd have been all over the place here.
So I will.
Bad idea.
Yes.
To continue the answer though. Yeah. So I can't necessarily say specifically. I will say that we approached someone and unfortunately we're not able to secure them. Might not be who you think I'm referring to.
Yeah.
But someone I had an idea for specifically for a role in this that would have made complete sense based on what had come before. But unfortunately this person has actually popped quite a bit in recent years. And again, it's not someone that you'd necessarily think, but this person is huge in the horror community, or horror films right now. And so I was surprised necessarily. However, that's not to say that there might not be alums from other franchises that might pop up. That keen-eyed viewers might be like, oh, hey, that's from that thing. But we're not intending to make this a hey, look who it is kind of thing. We don't want it to be distracting from the film. The people that are going to show up are going to make sense in the roles that they're in. So yeah, there's probably going to be a couple of those.
Couple little surprises. That's good. That's good. Well, let me ask you this then. Did you happen to rank your favorite Nightmare movies in order?
I did indeed, yes.
I did not get your list, so I haven't seen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I supposed to? I did not realize I was supposed to send it to you.
I forgot to even ask you about it earlier today. It's been today. The last couple of days have been a little wonky. So, but yeah, if you want to start with number 9, I will let you go.
So I've been flip-flopping my number 9 and number 8 for a while. These two are kind of interchangeable for me. Depending on what mood I'm in, I could watch the other before the other. But I'm going to say that I guess if I had to choose one, I'll put the remake at number 9. Even below my number 8. Yeah, ultimately. Again, they could flip-flop, but the remake, they fucked up so much when they had such easy shit to do. They added 2 cool things, the micro naps and that one line, but otherwise it was a kind of dog shit teen angsty horror movie of that era that was just bad. And the makeup on one of the most iconic horror characters of all time. Like, here's the thing. It's hard to fuck up the Michael Myers mask, although they did do it a couple times.
What?
It's hard to do, but it can be done. What I'm saying is it's a lot harder to fuck up the Michael Myers mask than it is to fuck up the Freddy makeup.
Gotcha.
The Freddy makeup is a very intricate thing, and I personally don't think they even got it right in the original New Nightmare. I am not a big fan of the Freddy makeup in the New Nightmare.
We just said this before we went on the air because I wanted to get as fresh as possible. I literally just finished it like 15 minutes before I wanted to be dead on, and I was like, I can say it. I don't fucking like the makeup of New Nightmare.
I liked Freddy's overall look.
Yeah.
I love the coat. And I like the hat, and the olive green hat. I thought that was cool.
It's scary. It's just something about it.
Yeah, it didn't work for me. It looked more like parts of his scalp were ripped away instead of the burn stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, our makeup is different for sure. By the way, than what that was. But yeah, the makeup in the remake was just god awful CG. Like, he's literally walking around with a green patch on his face the entire production because they know they have to fucking CG part of his face for the whole production. And I just think it did him such a disservice.
And when they were putting that together, I remember hearing about that, and they're going, "Oh, we're going to go with a more realistic burn instead of classic Freddy makeup." And I went, "Okay, I'll check it out." But yeah, man, total miss.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How about number 8 for you then?
Number 8 will be Freddy's Dead, the final nightmare. I used to actually really enjoy this movie quite a bit. And so much so that this Dream Child was the first one I ever saw in the theater, but this was the first 3D movie I ever saw in the theater. So even though only about 15 minutes of it was actually 3D, I still had that experience of going in and getting, the Freddy's Dead glasses, the same ones that she puts on in the movie, and getting to watch it. So the problem is it's just too goddamn silly. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little soul to, the Roseanne and Tom Arnold just because it was of the day. But there are a couple things that I do really like in it. I love Carlos's death. I actually really enjoy the one silly thing in the movie that I really enjoy is the bed of spikes that he rolls out for John Doe when he's parachuting. And he's like, he literally rolls it out and then looks at the camera and goes, whew! Like, I found that's funny, and I still find it amusing. But it's, and there's still some lines I enjoy. No screaming while the bus is in motion. Like, I think there's still some fun to be had, but it's too far away from the Freddy that I fell in love with. You know what I mean? It's so that's why I still enjoy it enough, but it's definitely lowest on the list besides the remake.
All righty then. Number 7 for you.
7 is going to be Dream Child. I'm going to put Dream Child next because while I do like the 3, 4, 5 trilogy, I think Dream Child is the weakest. It does have some really cool parts. Dan's death on the bike is rad. I maintain it's fucking awesome. They even had to cut it down because it was so gruesome. But I love the set piece at the end with all of the Escher staircases and everything that they're running through with Jacob and Alice. And I loved that it picked up. Again, the Freddy movies, I love that they would pick up right where the last one left off. It continued Alice's story. And I still enjoy it well enough, but I just don't enjoy it as much as everything else that comes.
Okay. So far, I've guessed I've been hovering over the poster for each one that you've picked so far. So.
Nice.
Number 6. Let's see if I got this one right.
6 is going to be Freddy versus Jason.
Yep.
Again, I think basically the delineation, I think the top 5 are just outstanding movies, period. And then I think the others are still good and enjoyable. This one's still good and enjoyable and fun, but they're just not the pieces of horror history that I think the others are. So this one, obviously, it's much like Alien versus Predator. It's something that we wanted to see as horror fans all growing up that we were told forever was never going to happen, right? Because the studios were such dickheads back in the day. They're like, cooperation, pish tosh. Yeah.
Right.
But now they see, oh, shit. You mean Sony and Marvel can share and both make $500 billion by sharing Spider-Man? Well, let's let's see what else we can share, shall we?
Mhm.
You know, oh, great. Well, you're only 20 years too late on figuring this shit out. But at least now the technology is at a place where it makes sense to do all that stuff. But yeah, Freddy versus Jason was fun. The problem is Freddy only has 2 goddamn kills in the whole fucking movie. And Freddy is my favorite. And then they also made him kind of lose at the end. And I didn't like that. It pisses me off. And there was a couple of funny lines though. Like, what is it? That's one pissed off goalie or something like that. I thought that was a funny ass line. But man, the black chick in that was so annoying as a character. And
the Destiny's Child girl. wasn't it?
yeah. But then the bong smoking Freddy worm was kind of stupid. The fact that Jason is suddenly afraid of water after emerging from it almost every time, like
Right.
a lot of shit just was silly, and it's still, as fun as it was, it still felt like wasted potential to me.
Well, and when the director Ronnie Yu announces that he's never seen a Friday the 13th film going into this, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, they lost me right there.
And they didn't get Kane back for it either. That was a fucking mistake.
What the hell are they thinking back then? What?
Yeah.
That's what I was doing. So it is what it is, and it does have its moments, but you're right, and I think it's exactly where it should be, as you may see on a couple of the lists coming up here.
Yeah. All righty, number 5. Let's see if I can keep my streak alive.
So I'm having trouble with my 4 and 5 debating which one I want to put where, because one of them used to be one of my least favorite Nightmare movies for years and years. It was one of my least favorites. The other one I've always liked, but now I've grown so much more fond of the one I used to hate that it might be a little bit higher up. And so I think I'm going to do this and go Nightmare 4 for the next one. I still really love Nightmare 4. I think you still knocking them out, huh? I'll tell you what, this movie, there's so many parts of it that I love. Want to suck face, fucking great. And then the whole lead into it where her shit's fucking up when she's taking the test, like how relatable is that? You know, especially when you're growing up. And then I fell in love with Dramarama's Anything when Rick does his fucking karate scene, right? And then, you know, even as cheesy as it was, and the fact that they only did it this way because they ran out of money, the Invisible Freddy fight, I still love that scene. I think it's fucking great. The whole Kincaid and Joey getting killed right off the bat, while it's annoying in the sense that it was annoying at the beginning of Alien 3, it's still, they at least gave them the scenes, you know, to show them dying instead of just cacking them off screen like Alien 3. And it was they were cool to tie Kincaid's in with the end of the last movie, right? Kincaid's dog somehow pisses fire and resurrects Freddy, but I love when it zooms out from Kincaid going, Freddy's back, and it's just the whole world is the car lot, like the junkyard. I was like, that's fucking dope. It's so cool. Yeah. So there's a lot of great imagery, even down to the Drew Struzan poster that has always stuck in my mind. The glove ripping Freddy's face away. I love that. Oh, and this is the pizza one too, right?
Yeah.
Rick, you little meatball. Love this. So yeah, I really do enjoy part 4. Again, I love the top 5. I mean, all of these movies I love at this point.
Okay. All righty, number 4 then.
That'll be Freddy's Revenge, part 2. Yeah, I used to hate this one. And it wasn't because of any overtones. Honest to God, I was so clueless growing up that I didn't even pick up on any of that shit when I was younger watching this movie. All I remembered about the movie that I really loved, and to this day I still think it might be the scariest scene in any of the Freddy movies, is the school bus scene at the beginning. I loved that, riding out into the desert and you just have no choice. Yeah, and then the ground falls away. It's on 2 starting, and then the front kicks off, and now it's teetering, and you just have Freddy in complete darkness silhouetted coming up the each seat going ching,
Yeah.
ching, and it was so tense and like and I love that shit so much. And so but everything else I didn't care that much about. I didn't care about Jesse like I cared about Nancy. I didn't care about Rod. I didn't care about really, I didn't care about his girlfriend either. Like, I just didn't care about the family as much as I did the first one or the third one, because I think I saw 2 after I saw 3, to be honest. So going backwards like that, that's a big step down for a kid that loved 3. But now going back, I still think that this is the scariest that Freddy probably has been through the whole series. Definitely the scariest look, but this, I'll be honest, this is the Freddy style that I am aiming Dave towards.
Okay.
I want Freddy to be dark. I want him to be mean. He's going to be funny still, but not like part 3 and beyond joking funny. He's going to be mean Freddy from part 2. It's just that what he says is going to make you laugh, like oh, that's fucked up kind of thing. That's what I'm going for. A lot of that comes from what I saw in 2 here. And I love that scene when he emerges from Jesse now and kills God, I said Rod earlier. It's not Rod. It's what the fuck is his friend's name? I'm spacing it.
I'm blanking myself. I just
in part 2?
The jock guy.
Yeah, the jock. Yeah. Anyway, that guy.
Yeah.
The guy from Weird Science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did hate the ending still of 2, though, when he just kind of melts off of the girl emerges from inside him. It's still a little bit of a non-ending, the way the first one was kind of a non-ending too.
Luke helped you out.
Grady.
He says Grady.
Thank you, Grady. Yeah, I said Rod, but no, Rod was in 1. So,
all right. I think we're at number 3.
So number 3 is going to be the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
Ooh!
Oh, I got you on that
damn
one.
it! You got me on that one.
Yeah, believe it or not, I put this below the next 2. I still really like it. It's obviously what started everything. It's the origin of Nancy and Heather. It has the fantastic scene with Glenn, the fantastic scene. I mean, technically, Wes Craven did the bad guy through the bars scene before James Cameron did in T2, right? And then he strings Rod up, the real Rod. And I thought there was a lot of cool creepiness. I was not the biggest fan of the makeup that looked like it was falling off his face in certain shots. I did like the big long arms scene. I didn't like his voice as much because they didn't pitch shift it as much, right? But there were also at the same time some really quality scares with the Tina getting dragged down the hallway all by herself. So like it's equal parts awesomeness as well as, you know, a couple of awkward things. And you had the very first appearance of Lin Shaye, who appeared in 2 of the Nightmare movies, and almost 3.
Almost 3. All righty. How about number 2 then?
Call back.
Number 2 is going to be Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
All right.
Yeah. I obviously love this one. I think Wes outdid himself with this one. Really, the only thing I didn't like was the 5th blade on his thumb.
That bothered me too for some reason.
The problem is one scene in particular, that 5th blade makes it awkward, and as he's dragging Dylan, it moves awkwardly, and it made the glove look faked instead of what they wanted it to look like. So sometimes it looked okay though. But yeah, otherwise I love the setup. God, I love the opening taking place on the set, even though it's Heather's dream. The attack on Chuck and Terry, and the fact that it's on the news later that they're missing. It's like, oh shit, this shit's actually happening. And then, you know, Chase getting killed, you know, right down there, and then her going to see the body. It's just like quality scene after quality scene after quality scene, to say nothing of the scene when she appears on the talk show with Robert appearing as the old Freddy, right? And then
the makeup looks like we're used to, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And then to the whole, when he pops out of the closet the first time and says, "Miss me," like I love that. And I love the fact that they went so far as to, in the credits, list Freddy Krueger as himself. And so I love that shit. So there's just so much about this movie that I adored. I mean, I have a replica of the painting that Robert is painting in the movie on our set. So you can see it on most of our, reviews that we do nowadays. It's right behind me. There was someone put it up on a Facebook auction, and I watched it like a hawk. I didn't care how high it was going to get. I was going to get my hands on that fucking replica because it looks so much like what Robert did. And yeah, I love Dylan reaching for heaven and then falling and saying God wouldn't take me. Like, there's just so much cool shit in this movie, and I adored it. I really do.
It's definitely underrated, I think, in my opinion, by most of the Nightmare fans.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are starting to come back to it now.
I think so too.
It's taken them a while,
Yeah.
I remember watching this in the theater and just being like, I loved it. The 3 other people I went with hated it. And I was like, I never hung out with them again. Fuck that.
It also happens to be the only, that's a good move. It also happens to be the only horror movie that my dad ever went with me to go see. My dad was an orthopedic surgeon, and so he never really had time, but he made time this one time to go with me, and he had to get up a few times, and afterwards I was like, "What did you think?" And he's like, "Oh, those movies make me nervous." but it's the only time he ever went with me, and so it's a real memorable theatrical experience for me as well.
That's cool. All right, and obviously you're number 1.
Yep, the fan film. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. Of course, I think this is the pinnacle of the franchise. I think it's where every idea was gelling in the best way it possibly could. It brought in, obviously, Nancy from the original, John Saxon from the original, plus it brought in a whole bunch of new interesting characters that were stuck fighting Freddy. There was fantastic effects. Took a big leap in this movie. I think the puppeteering kill is one of my favorite kills in the whole franchise for sure. The TV kill, it's a classic. A welcome to prime time, bitch. There's dialogue all over the place that's just quality. Sorry, kid, I don't believe in fairy tales. Like such good shit. And
Let's get high.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly where I was going next with Taryn. Yeah, I mean, yeah, what a rush. Exactly. So much good shit, dude. And it's there's just so much good. And again, the Drew Struzan poster, so striking, so amazing. I mean, and Patricia Arquette killing it.
Yeah.
Even though she didn't return. Absolutely killing it. Freddy Snake. The Freddy Snake is so fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. I just there's so much to love about this movie. It's always been at the top, and I think it's going to be hard to dethrone in my mind.
Very cool, man. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, a couple of comments here. Dave says the problem with the later Freddy's is it became too comic booky and campy. Yeah, I didn't. Like you just mentioned, I didn't mind the humor in 3, but then after that, it was just like he was doing Rodney Dangerfield one-liners after that. And
yeah, when he's sitting on the beach
weird.
in sunglasses in the 4th one, it's like starting to push it a little too far for me.
Yeah. Love New Nightmare. Excellent. And it looks like a couple of people are working on their list, so I'll get to that in a little bit. So. Yeah, Ziggy, you got another question for Cecil before we cut him loose?
Again? Let's see. I don't know what you guys talked about. Yeah, when I was down, I don't know what was discussed with a couple of seconds in there. Let me think here. Well, first, I wanted to say, Cecil, nice list, man. You get the official DCS golf clap for that, of course.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Appreciate it. That was Men at Work, right?
Yes.
Classic.
Yeah. Love that movie.
Let's see. We talked about other characters returning. Okay, and you talked about stuff doing beyond this. Yeah, I don't really have anything else, and my thing is threatening again, so I don't want to get in the middle of something and crash out again.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fun. This is fun.
I got a question for you then. Did you mentioned the artist that had done primarily, I think, all the original 7 Nightmare posters?
Yeah, Drew
Did you ever think
Struzan.
about? Yeah, did you ever think about reaching out to them and getting a poster done for?
I have
Dylan's
thought
new
about it.
Nightmare?
Yes, I have thought about it. I have a feeling it's well out of our price range, but it's not something that's fully off the table just yet. I have to figure out exactly what I want to say and how I want to word things.
Okay, excellent.
But yeah, it is,
that was
it is
just something that
that's being
came up.
considered. Yeah,
Yeah, because I know a lot of people love that artwork. I mean, obviously, I've got one of those up there, so it's great work. So let's see. Yeah, I guess that's really about it that I've got for you then. So, and we've got a couple of lists to get through too. So
right on.
hell, I got to do Colonel's list too. Wait, I get to pay Colonel back because he's not here because he imitated me when I wasn't here a few weeks ago.
Oh shit.
Oh, game on. Well, Cecil, man, I appreciate you dropping in and hanging out with us. I'm going to throw the link for the Indiegogo on here again out to the fans, and
thank you very much.
let them go and check that out. And
Get out there,
dude.
Let's help get this thing made. I mean, it's already said, regardless of what happens, it's going to get made anyway. But man, let's make it as fucking great as we possibly can.
Yeah, all that we're going to be adding is more gore and shit. If we make enough, more story. You know, there's ways to expand it even further too. So,
you see, that's all we need. Let's do this.
Well, thank you guys very much for having me on, though. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and also, guys, there's a link to the Horror Show channel on YouTube. Make sure to go and follow Cecil and his cronies over there.
Yes, we're going to be dropping this weekend for 4th of July. While we're at Mad Monster, we're going to be dropping part 3 of our horror franchise tier list ranking. So we've ranked 40 franchises so far. We're going to rank 20 more on the 4th of July. So it's going to be fun.
Nice. What other cons are you trying to get to this year?
We're probably going to stick to just local ones this year. It'll be Mad Monster and probably Phoenix Fear Con. The next one we want to try and travel to, because we traveled to Mad Monster Carolina one year, and then we traveled to Texas Frightmare the following year. So we want to try and travel, but we haven't done any of the big California cons yet. And California is our biggest metric audience on the channel. So I want to do Monster Palooza, I think, is the next big one we want to do.
Okay. Yeah, we've got Oklahoma City Horror Con coming up in July, and then Cincinnati's Horror Hound that we're going to in September.
I know I've heard about Horror Hound quite a few times.
Yeah, that's a big one, man. I'm sure we'll cross paths out here because we've been running into all you guys on the circuit here. So.
Yeah, that's the nice thing. The family's
we'll probably
pretty,
make it
pretty
out to
tight.
Phoenix at some point.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
You guys should come out to Mad Monster next year if you're not making it this year. Obviously, it's pretty short notice at this point.
Right.
Definitely.
We'll definitely look on the calendar. So
right on, guys.
man,
Well, thank you again.
Thank you, man, and we look forward to hearing more about this as it gets closer. So good luck with everything, and let us know what we can do to help besides getting that Indiegogo going.
And once it's done in time to promote, man, come on back and we'll get this thing fucking fired up.
Awesome. Thank you. Maybe if we're going to be dropping a trailer, I'll let you guys know and all that good stuff. So
that'd be great.
All right. Thanks very much, guys. Y'all have a good night.
See you, man.
Too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh.
Hey,
he dipped.
I'm still here.
He dipped on us. That was cool, man. Sorry, guys, I didn't get to all your comments, but you guys were going
Oh, man.
absolutely bonkers up there.
You know how frustrating that was, though, just sitting here and like I kept having a thing to say, and I'm just watching the internet thing go boop, 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 down to one little bar, and I'm just going, what's the fucking point? As soon as I start spitting, it's gonna fucking crash again.
I'm gonna go through some of these and look at this as much as I can. Peter says, "I miss the Colonel, but not his always angry demeanor." Wow.
He's such a teddy bear.
Yeah. There's Peter again. He says, "I'll be on set for Vengeance 2, July 11th to the 14th. I'll get you guys an exclusive behind-the-scenes photo." Hell yeah!
There you go.
Definitely. Lorena says, "Ooh, I want one of those blankets too. They're freaking soft, man. I love them."
It's one of them real soft.
Yeah. Kiara wants to know where that nun clip in the sales pitch video. That is, I believe, from Psycho 3. Oh, and Dave answered just shortly thereafter. I'm pretty sure it's Psycho 3. So there you go. Thank you, Dave, for answering that. Man, that was a long time ago. Patricia says Robert Englund is going to be around her way in August. Excellent. Yeah, we're going to see him in September in Cincy, I think. Right, Ziggy? Oh, shit.
Yes. Well, if you can hear me, yes.
I heard that. Yeah, you're a little cloudy, but
Fucking bullshit.
Let's see.
Fucking rain.
There's the glove stuff. There's the first link. More glove stuff.
Yeah. Michigan weather.
You just made the list.
Kiara, this is one I wanted to mention. She says, "Will you find a place to do merch for this series? I'd get some." That's what the Indiegogo page is basically right now. You can help them out. Make sure to click that link after our show. Check it out. And there's all kinds of stuff on there. You can get the Blu-ray whenever it's available, posters. Yeah. You can actually get replicas, and obviously, like he said, the gloves. So
he said he's going to put something on sale too. But I mean, I don't know. I went with the it's going to be the $50 T-shirt. I think that's about where I'm at with it. You know, as far as
I got to get in there and get some stuff too.
But every little bit helps, man. Every little bit will get this guy. You know, and I'm glad they're going to make it regardless of what happens. But man, just to have more than you need is better than not having the goal.
Sure. Luke says, as far as the remake goes, Jackie Earle Haley is the least problematic part of that movie. Great actor, just a bad script for everyone involved in. Yep. Very true. Seth, welcome, man. I'm sorry I didn't see this earlier. Yeah. I would have mentioned it. My bad, dude. Seth from the Horror Syndicate says, Cecil, you should totally do a Howling fan film. Jump off from New Moon Rising, including lots of random line dancing. Never mind. I'm not sorry I missed that comment. Now, what the hell? New Moon Rising? Come on, man.
I was just thinking about werewolf effects and stuff practically and like working into a fan film. And then I was starting to read what he actually said. I was like, oh.
Okay. Never mind. No, that's funny. That's funny stuff. Speaking of, Seth's got his list. He says, Freddy's Dead, the remake, Dream Child, Freddy vs. Jason, Freddy's Revenge, New Nightmare, Dream Warriors, Dream Master, damn, and the OG. Number 1. Yeah. Man, Dream Master. He's a huge fan of that one, huh? All right.
Nice list.
Okay, here's another list. It looks like S. Michael, Freddy's Dead, The Dream Child. I'm not going to say that. Part 2.
Dude,
God damn it, you got me. The remake, Freddy vs. Jason. Number 4, Loves the Roach Motel, New Nightmare at number 3. Number 2, the original, and no, shut the fuck up. And number 1, Dream Warriors. Yeah. And honorable mention, Freddy's Nightmares, season 1 and 2.
For that little bit extra at the end, he gets the golf clap. Wonderful.
Son of a bitch. I knew you were gonna fit in, S Michael. I knew you were gonna fit in. Let's see here. Luke says he agrees with Cecil that Freddy was definitely the most vicious and scary in part 2. Here's Kiara's list. Here we go. Freddy's Dead. Everyone's just dumping on Freddy's Dead. Freddy's Revenge. Freddy vs. Jason. Dream Child, the remake. Wow, that's high for the remake. New Nightmare, Dream Warriors, Dream Master, and the OG, number 1. Thank you, Kiara.
Oh,
Ziggy, dude.
sorry.
Okay, here we go. Luke's got his list now, it looks like. Worst to best for him, the remake, Freddy vs. Jason, Freddy's Dead, Part 5, Part 4, Part 2, New Nightmare, Part 3, the original. Yeah.
I can get down with that.
Kiara says, I want to see that artwork on a shirt. Are you talking about the one of the posters from
There is
Dylan's
one.
New Nightmare?
It's the original one. I think is the shirt that they offer on the shirt form. I don't know if that brand new one is going to be on a shirt yet, but who the fuck knows? They might go ahead and add that to the design pile.
Okay. Yeah, and people just saying good luck to Cecil and all that. Yep. All right. Excellent. Okay.
Pretty cool cat, man.
Yeah, check out that link that's up there, and there's something on there that you'll want to get. I can tell you that much. And now I think Kiara's asking us, would you ever let fans design merch for you guys?
I don't see why not. We'd have to, to work out some details and stuff on that with, release and everything. But I see why, knock it out of the park. We'll consider it.
Yeah, I know our writer friend that he was going to do something. But of course, then he got into the accident and not sure what he's been. But he did talk about doing some kind of artwork for us that he was just going to give us for a T-shirt or something a while back. But
he sent over an idea, but I don't think it was finished yet. So I mean,
no, that was just like a sketch. Yeah,
he's recovering. Once he's recovered, I'm sure we'll hear more about it. But I don't have any problem at all with it. I would love to see fan art coming at us, and fuck yeah, if it was really that cool, why not?
Yeah. All right, so since Colonel's not here, I guess I'm
gonna do his list.
Do his list. Yeah.
Yeah, your list is last, cocksucker. What are you doing?
Your list is last.
How is mine last when you're the host? It's all right though.
I was officially host last week. Colonel was supposed to be hosting this week.
I see. He's got the squirts.
But
squirts.
Don't tell people.
No, it could be that. It could have the pisses too. Who knows?
All right, I'm not going to really imitate Colonel except for one thing. All right, my ranking for Nightmare on Elm Street films. Number 9. No, number 9. Freddy's Dead. I don't know what he would say about any of these, but Freddy's Dead is his number 9. Number 8 is the remake, Nightmare on Elm Street from 2010. The number 7, Freddy vs. Jason. Number 6, Nightmare 2, Freddy's Revenge is the proper title of that one.
That was
for those that were confused earlier. Number 5, right? Number 5, yes. The Dream Child. Number 4, ironically, The Dream Master. You're going just right in order there, man. Number 3 for Colonel, New Nightmare. Number 2, The Dream Warriors. And, of course, it should be no surprise, the OG is Colonel's numero uno.
all right, Colonel. Thanks for the list.
You are awful. All right, so Ziggy, how about yours?
Well, I thought you were going to do yours. I'll do mine.
Have I not done mine? Have I not done mine?
You were about to, and then
Cecil jumped in. That's right. All right. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. You know, most of ours are
Pretty the same.
similar. Yeah, I'll be honest.
Understealing pricks.
There's not a whole lot to talk about.
I think mine was one off from Cecil's, honestly. Really?
Well,
a couple were different, but pretty close.
The reason we did this was because we got Cecil locked in to come on the show. So we were like, well, we got to change topics and come up with something that fits him. Let's do this. So that's why we switched topics last minute. And we got something special for our members only next week. So stay tuned for details on that.
Oh, baby. You're going to love this.
Yep. Number 9 for me, though, of the Nightmare rankings. Fuck this movie. Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare.
Come on.
Holy shit. No, dude, piece of shit. Enjoyable when I was a kid in the 90s. Straight shit now. I'm sorry. I can't take it. Can't take it. That's all I got to say about it. Number 8 for me. The Dream Child. The vaginal wall thing, I can't see past that. And that's all I ever get from this movie. So.
Vaginal wall. Check.
The vaginal wall. That's all I got to say. Number 7 for me. Yep. Freddy versus Jason. Again, yes, something we all wanted to see as horror fans back in the day when this happened. Executed and written awfully. Just terrible. Had so much potential that they could have gone with, and they failed in every damn near sense of the word, in my opinion. Oh well. Number 6 for me. I actually don't mind this remake as much as a lot of people do. I don't think it's good, but there are a lot more parts to it that I can kind of get behind than I have thought about in a while. So, still not great. And if I have the choice to watch the original over this, then yeah, I'm going to watch the original every fucking time. But, yep, number 6, the remake from 2010. Number 5 is Nightmare 2, Freddy's Revenge, for those of you that don't know the proper subtitle to this particular film. Like Cecil said, I didn't necessarily I thought, the kid was a little weird, Jesse, but when I saw this when I was younger, but I didn't get all the homoerotic tendencies that were laced throughout the film. Didn't mean anything to me. I watched it in my, later teens, and then I was like, oh, okay. That still didn't really affect me at all. But yep, Freddy's Revenge in there at number 5. Number 4, Dream Master. Still pretty fun movie. Cecil said everything about this that needs to be said.
I know, man. All his fucking explanations on him were pretty fucking on point.
Mm-hmm. Number 3 is Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I like Ziggy. I recently watched this again. Ziggy's not very good at preparing. He finished his 15 minutes before the show was over?
Much. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. See, I prepare more for the show, so I watched it a little earlier. I was done 30 minutes before the show. So,
I've also seen this a number of times recently. So, I mean, within, let's say the last 3 years, at least a couple of times, So, I just wanted to freshen up on it again, and I got as close as I could.
Mm-hmm. And again, like Cecil said, I love the original take on this, that they took it out of whatever the fuck they were trying to do with the timeline, Freddy's child and then Freddy's dead and all that shit. They took it in a completely different direction. I loved it. I thought the inclusion of Wes Craven and Robert Shea and Sarah Risher all as actual themselves in the movie it was just a fun way to do it. And this is one of the reasons why I'm so excited for Dylan's new Nightmare, because I mean, no one would have ever thought to. That's just genius to think so outside the box to make a fan film about this or stemming from this movie.
I do feel if they had not locked down Miko, though, he'd have been out. Yeah, I pass. I think it probably would have evolved into something else, maybe. Maybe he'd gone back to do one of those other things he had mentioned.
Maybe. Great idea.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love this movie. Can't wait to see what they do with it. Number 2 for me, slightly, possibly shocking for some, but Dream Warriors. I know this is most people's favorite. I get it. It's a great film, but obviously I'm going to put the OG at number 1. So that's not a debate, man. It's just not.
No.
Now, if we were talking Hatchet and Hatchet 2, that might swap places, but maybe. I'm not even sure. But when it comes to Nightmare, no. First one, so damn good. So fucking good.
So scary.
That is my list.
That is Crank's list.
Oklahoma! Oklahoma! Oh, my ass meat!
Really not even going to give me the golf clap, huh? Fuck you.
Well, you got an ass meat instead. That's even better in some worlds. All right.
Corey says, in light of Colonel's absence, I did steal his quote from last week's show. He has such bad luck. If it was raining pussy, he'd get hit with a dick recently.
Well, he did get a little bit of good news the other day, so.
Yep. Hopefully that works its way out.
Maybe it was a celebration that led to his condition.
Hey, I made it after drinking until 7 this morning, so he has no excuse to not be here.
It's a celebration, bitches.
Wait. What? S. Michael says, Scary Terry on Rick and Morty is scarier than anything in Freddy's Dead. Yes. FaZe says, Part 3 is definitely the most popular, but I'll always prefer the first 2. Still a great film, just not an instant favorite for me like most others. Glad to see the OG getting love too. Hell yeah.
That's right.
And Chris FaZe is one of our members. If you guys don't know, we always mention him at the top and bottom of the show. He's one of our final guys. And he is going to be joining us on Monday Maniacs in August, I believe. Is that when we booked you?
30th.
I'm looking it up right now. Yep, and that is the day that we are going to be doing, it looks like, the Candyman franchise rankings with FaZe, and we'll be doing a review of the new Candyman that drops that weekend. So get ready for that. FaZe is booked.
FaZe. I'll make that before we get him on there. His entrance theme. The troll theme. Okay.
All right, Ziggy. Hit me with the best list.
I'm just going to bring it at you here, as we've already heard it all, and we've said it all. The thunder, thoroughly stolen. So I'm just going to go with it. Number 9. Yeah, Freddy's dead. I mean, and there are things I like about this movie. I love when the dude loses his earpiece and Freddy's all like, shh, sneaking around that shit. That is fucking hilarious. And that's the kind of Freddy I like. But overall, it really falls flat. And that 3D is bogus. Like, it was only 15 minutes worth, and it is shit. It's not even worth. I mean, there was some shit came out in the early 80s that kills that. You know, I'm not even talking Friday 3D either, but Freddy's dead. Number 9. At number 8, the remake, Jackie Earl Haley. He did his best.
Not your fault.
Script fucked him. He did look a little weird, and the CGI, that was a bad move on their part, but damn it, he was scary as Freddy at scenes in that movie. There's no question.
Mhm.
At number 7, I have The Dream Child. Yes, I don't. 4 and 5 to me, I appreciate that it is kind of like a trilogy with 3, 4, and 5, but man, it gets weak as it gets going on, and that's why when it finally gets to The Dream Child, there are things I like about it, and overall, though, man, oh fucking hell, it's not one of my favorites. Number 6. Somehow Freddy versus Jason, I put it here. I'm looking at it now and going, huh? But here it is.
That's what you sent me.
I know. I like Freddy in this a lot. Only 2 kills, yes, but the whole manipulation thing. But man, Ronnie Yu's decision to use a different Jason, first of all, and the fact that he'd never seen a Friday the 13th movie, I'll never get past it as long as this movie and we exist on this planet. So that's why it can never be any higher than number 6 on this list. Number 5, The Dream Master. This was a decent one too, man. I love bringing back the Dream Warrior characters.
Mm-hmm.
And shit, man. It really had, let's see, where we at? Okay, yeah. It had some good scenes in it. One sticks out in particular for me.
You snuck one in on me, huh?
Maybe another one. We'll see. Okay. The Dream Master at number 5. Yes. Featuring Wino in the role of Freddy. Number 4. I saw Freddy's Revenge, which is my number 4. I saw this back when it was in theaters. This was all my friends had gone to see it and go, "Oh my god, dude!" You know, and I couldn't go with them opening night when they went, so I went. They went the next day to see it again. I was like, "Wow, this must be a great fucking movie." But I wasn't buying the straightness of the dude in the role, you know, Jesse's role the whole time. But I didn't give a fuck. I didn't care. Right. You know, but it's still Freddy at probably his scariest. I do agree with that statement. And there's some great moments in it, some really horrible rubber dogs and shit, and the terrible ending. But it's a decent entry, man. It really is. Number 4. Oh, wait a minute.
That was number 4.
That was number 4. Number 4 was Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge.
Had to give it the double wah, huh? God damn it.
Oh, that's funny. That's all I got on those, though. Number 3, The New Nightmare. We've talked a lot about it tonight. At the time, I think the first time, I almost didn't like it because I was like, what the fuck, man? I got to think too much to follow the Freddy movie here. I don't like it. But years later, I've seen it a number of times. I'm delighted by what Wes Craven did here. A true fucking master of storytelling. If you've not seen it and really absorbed this movie, get fucking on it. At least to get ready for Dylan's New Nightmare, man, because this is going to be fun. And this was a great one and a final run with Nancy. Mwah. Perfect.
Yeah. Perfect.
Number 2. What's it going to be? I absolutely, although I do love this movie, and I've always said this, it's by far the second best Nightmare story. The Dream Warriors. The Dokken soundtrack. Funny story at, where were we at? Yeah, Crypticon. Scott Ian. Oh, no, it was Horrorhound, wasn't it?
Yeah, Horrorhound.
Scott Ian, Charlie Benetti. And, you know, it was heavy metal and horror was the panel. Mm-hmm. So they come out and the guy asks an asinine question about an action figure, which totally disconnects those two on stage. They're just kind of like, yeah, action figure. Yeah, great. And so Scott Ian comes back with, well, obviously the number 1 movie in horror is Dokken's Dream Warriors. You know, and he said it, and a couple of people clapped, and he's like, I'm just kidding. You know, the be-all, end-all Dokken Dream. No. I do love the song, and I love Dokken, but is it the number 1 horror movie theme? Hell no. Hell the fuck no. So obviously, number one, the original, the one that started it all, the one that put that name Fred Krueger in your fucking heads. You could never forget Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, the Wes Craven 1984 classic. If it's not on the number one on all lists, I don't know why. I guess I'll forgive you if you have Dream Warriors ahead of it. But, man, there's nothing else that can stand above it. That's the list, baby.
That's your list?
That's the
That's all
list.
you got? There you go.
Yes,
You feel better now?
I do.
Feel better now? All right. Well, man, this has been weird without Colonel tonight. I don't like this at all.
It's a little vanilla. I understand.
But he better be happy I didn't decide to just go full-blown Colonel impersonation. I thought about it, but I thought, I'm going to be nice. I don't know why, but I'm going to be nice. We got Jay Crow in here.
Hey,
man. Hey, y'all. Sorry it's been a while since I've been on. Welcome back, Jeremy. Thank you.
Welcome back, damn it.
Kiara liked your wino. Dave, of course. It is so satisfying that I gave you wino and he's still here. Wow.
Yeah, we're rigging that toothpaste tube out to the bitter end, aren't we?
Well, and I need you to get some of the old Mentos commercials back, because have you seen people stealing that now? People are doing horror Mentos.
I don't want to say we're cutting edge or trendsetters or anything, but the proof is on the internet, folks.
I've seen 3 in the last week. So
you heard it here first.
Yeah, long time ago. God, that was last year, wasn't it? Like late last year?
I don't know.
Dave says New Nightmare was legit. Tyrone says your list is my list, Zag. Nice.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of lists are the same here.
Yep. And Kiara said Zag made it through the stream. Yay!
Oh yeah, it's all calm out there now. But I mean, the whole time, man, I just had that unstable, like, you better get closer to the modem. Well, I'm Ethernet cabled right to it, so fuck, there's nothing I can do.
Dave says too many enchiladas for the Colonel. That is a possibility. That is a possibility. Why do we not have Demon running for the shitter in here right now as a drop? How do we not have that?
These are things that keep coming up, and I forget. I'm like, I'm supposed to get something, but I forget.
All righty. Gang, next week, got some bad news, good news for you. We will not be doing a Monday Maniacs next week. No. What we are doing, though, is an exclusive for our members only. Every tier, even the $3 tier, will get to join us to watch Never Hike Alone, the Ghost Cut, and we're going to get a commentary from it, or on it, from writer-director Vincent DeSanti. Now, if you don't know what the Ghost Cut is, it's all the pieces right now of Never Hike Alone put together in one complete storyline. So it starts with, I believe, the Disappear music video.
Yes.
Then goes to Never Hike in the Snow. And then there's a couple of little added scenes that they did just for this Ghost Cut. And then it's Never Hike Alone.
Right.
Vincent's going to join us. We're going to talk about the movie. We're going to watch the movie. We're actually going to play the movie on this stream. So if you want to be a part of it, you have a week. I will drop the link to be able to join on our website in the comments. Just go over there. You can join for a month. You'll get an invite to the stream.
Sure.
And cancel. We don't mind.
Try it out.
This is something we have to do to appease our members. And
this will be the first of many cool things coming your way where you can interact with the horror community, actual working cogs and parts of the people that are bringing you the newest fucking shit in horror. This is your entryway right here.
Mm-hmm. But Kiara is saying, oh, no. Well, you've got options.
You've got
options to join us. So that's all I've got to say for tonight, folks. But, I
apologize for the internet. What do you got?
Dave says, fuck, I got to work next week. You know what? I'm giving my notice.
Hey, don't do that.
That's funny.
We can't support you yet, man.
Yeah. And Tyrone says, where'd it go? Tyrone says, can't wait. And Kiara says, I'll join you all someday. All right.
I'm just saying, with Vince, you know, this guy is a ball of energy as well. He's going to have a lot to say. We may learn a few things about Never Hike Alone and the future of Never Hike Alone. What's going on? It's been a little while since we talked to Vince, so who the fuck knows what's going to come up?
Right. Corey also asks, can you join in one payment, not monthly payments? What you can do is you can do an annual payment. I believe that is an option on all three options. So, like, it is. If you want to be a camp counselor for the entire year, it's $33 a year. If you want to be a Crazy Ralph, you get a little bit of a discount too, by the way. If you want to be a Crazy Ralph, it's $100 a year, so you save $20 there. And if you wanted to be the final girl or guy, which is normally $25 a month, that is only $250, so you save $50 if you subscribe that way. So, if that's what you wanted them on, I think I knew what you were talking about, Corey. But yeah, that is an option. It is on the website. Check it out and let us know. Don't get sick. Wash your dick. I'll say that for Colonel.
The Colonel. Right on. Don't be a Scuba Steve. Wash your...
No, I'm not going to say that. No, I'm not going to say that.
Well, that ain't how he says it anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Not wash your beef. Damn it, Colonel.
Fuck you.
But, yeah. As always, thanks for joining us, guys. We will see some of you next week. And hopefully we will see some of you join up, get involved in the membership stuff. And, so until then, for the Colonel, for Zigzag.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Red Crank saying DCS out, and we shall see you next time. Woo!